is asking for a sentence of 15 years is not appropriate in this case. 35 years in this type of case is appropriate because this person chose to go down the path he chose. Granted, everybody has their childhood, everybody has their past. If you really look at what the doctor said and what...
Welcome back to the courtroom, folks, and buckle up, because today's case has everything: drugs, family trauma, shocking courtroom confessions, and a judge who absolutely does not hold back. We're diving into the trial of Michael Montoya, a 21-year-old whose life spiraled out of control, leading to tragedy. His mother takes the stand, prosecutors tear into her credibility, and Judge Boyd delivers one of the most brutal courtroom takedowns of parenting you will ever hear. And if that wasn't enough, we'll end with a victim's daughter offering a message that could break even the toughest viewers. This case is intense, it's raw, and it will leave you questioning how family, addiction, and personal choices collide in the justice system. Stick around, you're not going to want to miss a second.
Calling 2022 CR 5275, State of Texas versus Michael Montoya. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Matthew Allen for Mr. Montoya.
Have both parties, are you Mr. Montoya?
Yes, sir.
Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Any witnesses, state?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Michelle Hernandez. Michelle Hernandez? Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. If you'll state your name for the record and spell it, please.
Michelle Hernandez, Michellehernandez.
All right. Defense?
Ms. Hernandez, how old are you?
41.
And what do you do for work?
Contractor work with my boyfriend.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to need you to make sure you speak up so that the court reporter can hear.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you live here in San Antonio?
Yes, sir.
How do you know Michael?
He's my son.
Obviously, you know why we're here today.
Yes.
Okay. I guess around the time of this incident and when Michael was arrested, describe Michael's behavior.
Very paranoid. Just didn't trust anybody. He was always to himself.
On that day, do you know if Michael had used drugs?
Yes.
If you know, what did he use?
Marijuana and methamphetamine.
During this time period, was there anything else that, as far as Michael's behavior, that now maybe...
Just for a moment. Counsel, I can't have you all talking behind the court reporter.
Here.
You need to move him down to the other end. So you all can speak, Mr. States, and you all can speak in the box, but it just needs to be on that end. You may continue, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Looking back now, that it may be red flags about his behavior.
I don't. Did he or someone ever call the police about people outside? There was a couple of incidents when he thought there was a few, like 10 guys, he said. So he's like, we're outside trying to kill him when there was no one outside. He called the cops three times in one night.
And with those types of behaviors, do you know? Obviously, you know Michael was using some drugs during that time.
Yes.
Now, describe Michael growing up as a child.
Very athletic, loving, caring. He's a hard worker.
Right here we get one of the earliest red flags. Michael repeatedly called the police claiming a group of men were outside trying to kill him, when in reality, no one was there. This is textbook paranoia fueled by drug abuse, particularly methamphetamine. Judges and juries take these details very seriously because it shows not just bad decision-making, but a potential break from reality. And here's where I want your take. At this point, would you blame his drug use alone, or Do you think deeper mental health issues were already in play?
Did you have problems with him?
No, none.
At the home, where is Michael's biological father?
I don't know.
Okay. Were there any issues with his biological father at the home?
Yes. There was violence with him and I.
And did Michael witness some of that?
Yes.
Did he witness alcohol abuse?
Yes.
Did he witness people using drugs?
Yes.
And would you guys always be at the same house, or sometimes you'd have to go stay with his grandmother?
Whenever his father and I'd take them with me to my mom's.
Before this, was there any traumatic events? Did he lose anyone that he was close to?
His best friend.
His best friend.
Like 4 years, I believe, ago. And ever since then, I've seen him go a little downhill.
What about anyone in your family?
My brother, he was close to as well.
How long ago was that?
It was a year before that. Before his best friend.
And have you stayed in contact with Michael since he's been in jail?
Every day.
Is there anything else? Or I guess let me ask you this. You brought with you a notebook here today, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what's in the notebook?
It's just pictures of Michael, a few of them that I have left over. I lost a lot of my things. And there's him growing up with other family members or friends.
Did we tender it to the court?
Judge, I've viewed it. There's no objection.
All right, the court will review that, and I know how moms are about photographs, at least how my mom is. So I'm going to review it and then I'll return it to you.
That's my next question, Judge.
Yes.
Now, look, through the years, I guess, is this the same Michael during that time period, even a few months prior? Was that the same Michael that you knew growing up? Did you notice behavioral changes?
Yes.
Were you aware of his mental health and the extent of his drug abuse back then?
No.
Okay. Now that you are aware, you think that he needs help?
Yes.
Has he expressed a desire to get help?
Yes.
Has he expressed remorse about what's happened?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you want Judge Boyd to know before making her decision?
This thanks for this one.
Mr. Brown, is that again? Sorry, she couldn't take it.
Thank you for listening to.
No, thank you so much for coming in.
And the prosecutor may have some questions for you.
I just got a few quick questions, Your Honor. One, did you know the victim in this case?
Yes.
How was the victim?
He's a good friend.
This is such a striking contrast. On one hand, we have a mother reminiscing about a son she remembers as caring and athletic, bringing in childhood photos to remind the court he wasn't always defined by addiction and violence. On the other hand, the prosecution is ready to dismantle her narrative. In court, these emotional gestures tug at the heart, but they don't erase facts. Judges see through sentiment when the evidence points in another direction. And here's a thought for you. Should family testimony like this carry weight in sentencing, or does it just cloud the harsh reality of the crime?
Good, a good man?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't deserve what happened to him, is that correct?
No.
Okay. And you're not aware of your son's drug use, is that right? The extent of it, that's what.
Not the extent of it, no.
Okay. So you used methamphetamine with him that same day? I'll move on to that next question. The fact is that your son even admits that he used on a daily basis, that he lived with you. He used marijuana, he used meth, and he used Xanax on a daily basis.
I didn't know of him doing all of those.
And you stated he had a good childhood. I saw the photos. and that he viewed some physical violence between you and your husband
Yes.
and some physical violence between you and your boyfriend or boyfriend, one of your boyfriends.
Well, okay, yeah, maybe once.
So not an extended period of time.
Yes.
Was he ever abused in the house?
No.
Sexually abused in the house?
No.
Was he ever sexually abused by anyone?
No.
Abused physically by anyone?
No.
Abused emotionally by anyone?
And then I know.
So the only time you saw the difference in his behavior is when he started using drugs on a daily basis since the day of 18 years old.
No.
You saw behavior before that you didn't
No,
mention yet.
I just seen the behavior change when his best friend and my brother passed away.
How old was he?
I believe he was 16.
16.
Mhm.
So he started using alcohol back in sixth grade. You're aware of that, aren't you?
No.
That's what he stated.
No.
So you're not aware of that. Where were you at during this time when he was in sixth grade and started using alcohol on a daily, or at least
He was at my mother's house.
at your mother's house?
Yes.
Where were you?
I was not living with them there.
Okay. What other questions, Jonah?
Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
I do. A question wasn't asked, wasn't answered. Were you using meth with your son? That's either yes or no.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, any other witnesses, defense?
No, Your Honor.
State any witnesses.
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, any arguments?
Yes, Judge.
All right, brief argument.
Yes, Judge. I'll make it brief. The court's aware we provided the report for Dr. Fabian. Mr. Montoya, Michael is a 21-year-old with very limited history of any crimes. He was a normal.
And there it is, the bombshell moment. The prosecutor corners Michael's mother into admitting she actually used meth with her son. Think about that. A parent not only failing to protect their child but actively participating in the destruction. This isn't just negligence, it's complicity. And Judge Boyd is going to seize on this later in one of the harshest courtroom speeches you'll ever hear. What do you think? Should parents who enable drug abuse face legal consequences themselves?
Young person, and then things outside of his control at that time when he's younger influenced him, and unfortunately influenced him in such a way that partly led us here today. And I don't say fully because he was an adult. He has to make those decisions. But he witnessed physical abuse, verbal abuse. He witnessed alcohol use and extreme alcohol use. He witnessed drug and methamphetamine use not just friends. We're talking about people that were supposed to model good behavior, instead be a support system, and instead, like Dr. Fabian said, model behaviors which he mimicked later on. If we look at his statement in the PSI, now that he's been in custody, he's had time to reflect. We've gone over things. He admits one of the statements he says to the detective, no, that person didn't do anything to me. Again, we're not trying to say that it was self-defense or anything like that. He wanted to take full responsibility for what he did, and he's doing that here today, and he continues to do that. But drugs, there's no question that the behaviors he witnessed in his childhood, combined with the drug use, affected his brain and his thinking, just like Dr. Fabian said. And Dr. Fabian said, well, with therapy and prescribed medication, continued treatment, and obviously staying sober, that he can try to change those behaviors and that way of thinking. And I think we've heard a little bit that it started going that way. Again, I think just the biggest thing is that he, from a young age, he has outside influences that were not even just neglect, but showing him the absolute wrong things to do at a young age, and how that impacted and influenced him to create mental health problems that went undiagnosed, that his parents never sought treatment for, that he never got treatment for until we were here today, until he was seen in the Bexar County Jail. There were some warnings from the continued methamphetamine use, and Michael's very honest with his drug and alcohol use. There because he knows he needs to be, not only because we're in court, but because he wants and needs to get help and treatment at some point. And I think he's talked about getting an education, finishing high school, continuing to try to seek treatment while he's in prison, because obviously that is where we know that he's going to go under this plea bargain agreement. But again, I think just listening to Dr. Fabian and at a young age, it's easy to say, well, you were young and your sister's fine, so why can't you be fine? But that's not the way the world works.
Oh, I never do that.
That's not, I appreciate that. It's not the way everybody's brain works and develops. And so unfortunately, we're here today. He's very remorseful. He's very sorry for what he did. There's no getting around that. But we did want to bring the court some other things that were going on. We asked the court to take that into consideration and sentence Michael to 15 years.
All right, state.
Your Honor, the defendant, we saw the photos that were presented to the court, and I know that is a snapshot, literally a snapshot of his childhood. But yet there are photos of his childhood, of him growing up, that he had some type of support system through grandparents and other individuals in his life. But he chose, yes, at a young age, not to proceed and take advantage of those people. What he chose to do is drop out of school and cut class and drink alcohol, use marijuana, and things that were detrimental to his mental health, anybody's mental health for that matter. For the fact is even in Dr. Fabian's report, he didn't start using methamphetamines and Xanax to the age of 18 at the time that he was an adult. So that at that point, Your Honor, he's making adult decisions that were detrimental to himself, not because of PTSD, not because of ADHD, because he chose to take the easier way and he wanted to go have drinks. He wanted to go smoke marijuana. The day of, he smoked marijuana with his mom's boyfriend. The day of, he just chose to do methamphetamine. That caused him to be voluntarily intoxicated, that he chose that path. So the fact that defense is asking for a sentence of 15 years is not appropriate in this case. 35 years in this type of case is appropriate because this person chose to go down the path he chose. Granted, everybody has their childhood, everybody has their past. If you really look at what the doctor said and what his parents said, yes, there was some violence in the household. There was substance abuse in the household. But there's many people sitting in this courtroom today that chose different paths. And some of them are on a rocky road. But the fact is they haven't murdered somebody and shot them in the head when that individual is just there to help them. And Mr. Butler was there to help. He was there helping, and he was a plumber. And this is the victim in this case. And that's just a tragedy right there, is that this individual is out there helping late at night, trying to get this house renovated. And this individual decides to get intoxicated off of meth, Xanax, and drinking and marijuana, and shoots him just blindly behind the head. And that right there, Your Honor, deserves a 35-year sentence. Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Montoya, I want you to know that I listen to everything that's brought before me, and I consider all the evidence that's brought before me. I mean, do you deserve an apology? Yes. And you know why you deserve an apology? Because you had horrible parents in your life. Your mom, horrible parent, still a horrible parent to this day, using meth with you. She was horrible for bringing someone into
This is where the tone shifts. The defense paints Michael as a victim of trauma and bad influences. But the prosecution fires back hard. Trauma isn't a free pass for murder. They argue Michael made adult choices, drinking, smoking, and using meth on the very day he killed an innocent man. And that victim wasn't just anyone. He was a plumber helping with renovations, a man simply doing his job. The contrast couldn't be sharper, one man trying to build, another man destroying. Which argument do you find more persuasive, upbringing or personal responsibility?
Someone into your life as a stepfather who just got out of prison using drugs and using drugs with you. So you have horrible parents, horrible adults in your life. Your grandmother, it appears that your grandmother was trying to help you stay clean and sober, But then you have your horrible mom coming in and allowing you to live with her and use meth with her. That is ridiculous for your horrible mom to be using meth with you and rubber stamping it and okaying it. And then having your horrible stepfather who thinks he's a good stepfather, but there he is using drugs with you. And I guarantee you right now, your mother doesn't think she's a horrible parent, even though she's using meth with you. Your stepfather thinks he's doing a great job, even though he's using drugs with you. So I want you to know that I understand and I heard everything. And I understand that you had a horrible upbringing. But by that same token, there's a complainant in this case, somebody who's dead, who had family who loved and cared about him, and he's just working, doing a job. This is not a situation where he was doing something illegal or doing something inappropriate. And whenever a life is taken, guess what? Society suffers because whatever they were bringing to this world, maybe for the benefit of others, we no longer have that. So when I sentence you today, I want you to know that I realize your childhood was horrible. And sometimes people have a childhood that's horrible and they make it out. And you wonder, how did they ever make it out? And then sometimes when children are taken from the hospital to be with their horrible parents, you know that they're going to have a horrible life. And you have had a horrible life with your horrible mother and your horrible stepfather. And I don't know what they're doing with your sister. I don't know if they're using meth with your sister or not. I don't know if there are other grandchildren that people are allowing your horrible mother and your horrible stepfather to be around. So I want you to know that I heard all of the testimony and I listened to it and I internalize it. Okay? So I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 35 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Court will take in consideration 665-487 and 673-117. I'll ask for the therapeutic community. And I'll also ask, they do have mental health treatment at the prison. I'll ask for that as well. I don't have any jurisdiction to force them to do that. But if you request it and they see that I'm requesting it, they may be able to do that for you, okay? Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We'll go off the record. I know that this seems like a lot of time, and honestly, it is a lot of time, but it's time for you to understand how you got to the position where you are. And it's also time for you to grow and get away from other people. I can't tell you or force you not to have any conversations with your mom, but your mom means you no good. Because if she did, she wouldn't be using drugs with you. If she did, she would have told you, stay with your grandmother. I'm not a good parent because I'm using meth. She still thinks she's a good parent, using meth and bringing a criminal in your life who's using drugs, who on the outside comes in wearing a nice outfit, dressed appropriately for court, but he's still a drug user, and that's who she's bringing around you. The fact that she gave you a father who everybody said was not a good father, then what does she do? She brings boyfriend after boyfriend to be negative influences in your life. So whether or not you continue to have contact with her is completely up to you, but you need to work on yourself, because otherwise, when you get out of prison, and at some point you'll get out of prison, you're going to be right back where you started from. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. Do we have victim impact?
You have victim impact on.
All right. I don't see anyone on, is that Cassandra Castro?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Ms. Castro?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Do you wish to show your video?
Yeah.
All right. You may proceed, Ms. Castro.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Let me just click to my thing. Hello, Michael. My name is Cassandra. Sorry. I am Paul's only child. was my father. And I wasn't sure before today if the two of you actually knew each other or if you just saw him for the first time that night. But let me just tell you a little bit about him that you may not know. He was also a grandfather to my 4 children. He was a father-in-law to my husband. He was a son. And he was a beloved and cherished brother. He was an uncle, a cousin, and a friend to everyone who knew him. My dad was not perfect, but he was loved by so many. He was funny, and he was always ready to have fun. He was an artist. I don't know if you knew that. He liked to draw, and he was a plumber by trade. He is so missed by everyone in our family. And not being able to talk to him is not an easy thing. When I heard how old you were, my heart was broken. Not just because of the loss of my father, the loss that our family has experienced not having him around, but also because of the loss that I'm sure your family must feel not to be able to have you around anymore. Your life, their lives, and my family's lives will be different because of the decisions that you've chosen to make. When I heard that I could speak to you, I wasn't sure what I was going to say, so I prayed about it. And it's taken me a while to get to this place. It's taken me a while to get here, but I want you to know that I forgive you for taking my father's life. That wasn't an easy choice for me to make, but I want you to know that. And it's taken a lot of prayers and tears and countless nights with Jesus to get me there. I was supposed to write a statement about how my father's death has affected me and my family. But I don't see how that's going to help much. What's going to help me heal is Jesus, and he'll walk me through every stage of healing that I need, and that's between him and I.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Thank you.
This ending hits like a tidal wave. After Judge Boyd unleashes a scathing rebuke, sentencing Michael Montoya to 35 years in prison, we hear from Cassandra Castro, the victim's daughter. And instead of rage, she offers forgiveness. Think about that. In a courtroom filled with anger, pain, and judgment, she chooses grace. It's a reminder that while the legal system delivers punishment, true healing often comes from something deeper. So here's the big question: does forgiveness change the weight of justice, or are they two entirely separate paths? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns. Trust me, we have plenty more cases coming that you do not want to miss.